Ah yes, Minecraft structures. Some of them are beautiful to look at, others look like they've seen better days, and others are not worth exploring in the slightest. Looking at you, Jungle Temple. Anyway, have you ever wondered which one of these structures came first? Well, I sure have. So in today's episode, we are going to attempt to figure out which structure was the first to be made. This is definitely not going to be easy. First, let's start off with the structures we know for a fact were the last thing to be made. Those are the End City, the pillars in the end, the portal frame, the stronghold, and the ancient city. Now, the only thing I'm not sure of is, did the ancient builders create the ancient city first? Or the stronghold? I personally think that it had to be the ancient city, as the stronghold was built out of desperation. The ancient builders were attempting to get away from something, most likely the wither or the disease that has been turning them all into zombies. So here's what our current order looks like. It makes sense so far, but now comes the difficult part. The jungle temple looks very old, so we can safely assume that it's been there for a while now. However, the abandoned mine shafts are also pretty old, and they were most likely built before the jungle temple. But then, we have to think about the ocean monument and desert temple. While it's hard to tell how old these things are, as they haven't degraded as hard as some of the other structures, they still do show signs of age, and also use. But I think the ancient builders had to dig underground to gather most of the stuff in the first place. So for now, I'm going to put the abandoned mine shafts near the ancient city. Now, before I forget, we need to talk about the nether and the trial chambers, as they are going to further complicate things. According to the current lore of Minecraft, the ancient builders encountered a disease that turned them into zombies. They tried to find a cure for it, so they headed to the nether. However, the cure only worked on villagers, so they headed back to the overworld and maybe created the trial chambers, you know, in order to toughen up their soldiers. When that didn't work, they headed underground, created the stronghold, and entered the end. However, they couldn't leave. With no other options, they created the pillars to protect the dragon, and the dragon allowed them to enter the End Islands, where they created the End City, the last thing they made before they all turned into Endermen. So, from the lore alone, here's what our timeline of structures would look like, going from the last thing they made to the first. So we have the End City, pillars, End Portal, Stronghold, Ancient City, Trial Chambers, Igloos, Bastion, Fortress, Ruined Nether Portal, and Abandoned Mineshafts. You may have noticed that I've still missed out on the other structures, those being the Jungle Temple, Ocean Monument, Desert Temple, the Shipwrecks, and probably something else that I've missed. Well, I'm not exactly sure where they should all go on the timeline. We could go from which one is the most degraded, or which one is the most common. However, considering that Minecraft's world goes on forever, well, it used to, that wouldn't be very fair, as there's multiple ruined portals, stronghold fortresses, so on and so forth. So for now, this is what the timeline of structures came last, and which ones came first. If you'd like to correct this timeline, or place where the other structures should go within it, go right ahead in the comments. I'd love to see what you guys think. For now though, that's all I have to say for today. If you enjoyed this video, then give it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more content. I'll see you guys next time.